Well, the San Francisco Giants kind of showed their hand with their moves at the trade deadline, thinking they're feeling a little more 2025 than 2024.
It seems to be a theme tonight.
Yeah, with the moves they made. I mean, you, what they traded away doesn't necessarily. They didn't trade anyone away that was necessarily going to change the trajectory of the team. And we'll start with Jorge.
Jorge Soler was gonna win the MVP this year.
He was going to win the MVP, but he's shit the bed with 12 home runs and 40 RBIs. Whoop de fucking do. I mean, it's bad when Andrew Vaughn has more RBIs than you do. But I digress. Ba-boom!
Ouch!
Ow, for shot fire! Yeah, they traded Soler and what's the other dude? Jackson.
Alex Cobb.
But they traded Soler.
Oh, you don't want the whole
another ex-Brave, because must remember that Soler was on the Braves and had
that's right.
basically dominated the fucking playoffs with the Braves. And I think
I tend to forget about the Braves completely. I just kind of push them out of my mind, so I barely remember that.
I think the Braves are looking for lightning in a bottle again, because his statistics are basically exactly the same as when he was traded to them last time. And then he went fucking nuts. So the Giants got back a decent prospect, some guy named Sabalos. He's got
some Jamoke.
He's got a decent arm. But as we saw in the trade deadline, every trade, what was it? There's no top 100 prospects traded. That's insane.
None. That's not totally true, because the Tigers got one
based on MLB's rankings.
Oh,
top 100 prospects are traded. That's what I
okay, yeah, because I think the Tigers got a guy. Maybe it's Baseball America's top 100, or I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. It's whatever MLB pipeline. It's so subjective. That's going to be a theme for tonight as well. Nobody fucking knows about any of these prospects.
Exactly.
Certainly not you and me, and even the fucking experts have no fucking idea. So we can speculate about that, but
and I just read.
It's kind of masturbation more than anything.
Right, we're just reading what the experts are saying anyway. So whatever, it could turn out to be every one of these grades we're about to give tonight could all turn out to be A's in the end. I doubt that will happen, but it could happen.
We shouldn't. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't even bother doing grades, because I mock all the grades that I see, from the Athletic or wherever else.
Yeah.
So maybe we're hypocritical, but I guess it's kind of fun, or it's a good way to summarize our thoughts at least.
Right. But besides the Soler going away, you had mentioned Alex Cobb was traded to basically come back from rehab.
He hasn't even pitched yet, has he?
Yeah, he hasn't even pitched yet. He's going to rehab, come back fresh for the Guardians. I mean, I think from the Guardian standpoint, they probably have the AL Central kind of locked up.
AL Central is better than we thought, but
I know.
The Guardians are one of the best teams in the American League, if not all of baseball. It's bizarre.
But the team they have in place is definitely good enough to win the AL Central and hold off the Royals and the Twins. But it is close enough to where probably if you're a Guardians fan, you would have liked to seen a few more moves than what they did. But for the Giants, I think it was all of a sudden Blake Snell's pitching lights out. Robbie Ray looked great in his return. You got Logan Webb. And then your fill-ins have pitched really well, and their names escape me right now. So it's kind of like we might as well trade Cobb away if someone wants them, because we don't know what we're going to get, and we don't really have room for him as a starter.
That's interesting.
So the trade kind of made sense. I mean, in a weird way, we talked about it going into this podcast last week. the trade deadline acquisition for the Giants was getting Robbie Ray back.
Yeah.
So
you've been talking about that. You've been talking about that since before the season started. So
what I didn't expect were the last two outings from Blake's fucking Snell, which were fucking game changers. One, a no-hitter into the seventh, and the next one, 15 strikeouts. Like, what? So, I mean, it could be enough to at least get right to the precipice of a wild card spot. We'll see. But and then they added Mark Hanna from the Tigers. Who did you guys get? Who'd you get on that out of
I
that?
have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Matter.
Yeah, and again, it's like
or maybe the next Mark Hanna. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
you can only hope.
It's a great move for probably both teams. Tigers got rid of some money.
Canna was on a 1-year deal with the Tigers. Yeah. He's always going to be traded from the moment they signed him. He was going to be traded. So it's just ironic that he went to your Giants so we can talk about it. But he's a professional hitter. He's solid. He gets on base, and he's
the Giants profile.
He's a role player for a good team, essentially.
Yeah,
Tigers were not a good enough team this year, but he was okay, which is I don't know. That's all you can ask for these days when most people can't hit at all. So
yeah, I mean,
I didn't do a deep analysis, obviously, of the prospect we got back from you guys. So I think you'll be happy with Canna. He's played on a lot of winning teams over the last several years. So
yeah, I mean, he could be the Marco Scutaro of 2024. Oh, I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ, dude! No, enough. I was in such a great mood before this. You just took it down another notch.
Am I giving a grade for this or?
Yeah, go ahead if you want.
I mean, I give him a like a D+, C-.
Wow.
Like
it's confusing. They're kind of still in it.
Yes. They're kind of still in it with the team they have. Jorge Soler was not a major contributor, so trading him away to me is not like some sort of blow.
It just seems like he could have turned it around in the second half potentially, and it could have
maybe
helpful,
exactly.
But
they had no room for Cobb. I mean, so I guess it just made sense, and maybe it's enough to get over the finish line. I hope it is. I hope when when we're doing a podcast at the end of September, we'll know. We may not be doing one at the end of September because there may be nothing to talk about. But
who knows? We'll find something.
Though. Maybe we will. There'll be something to talk about, but nothing about our team.
So I mean, you sound more like half positive than a D+. I mean, that sounds more like a C grade. I would think.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe a C. I mean, I felt like the moves made sense to me from where they sit today. And I do agree with you. Maybe the Soler move's a little riskier in the fact that maybe he would flip a switch and turn it on. I mean, we've seen players do it before. We saw him do it when he was traded to Atlanta. Or maybe something we don't know. Maybe he just wasn't fitting in there. So that's why his season wasn't as great. Who knows? So
yeah, that's another part that fans will never fully know unless there's some deep reporting about how the clubhouse dynamics are affected by trades or by individuals, and some things on paper make no sense, but when you're in the environment and understand the real personality dynamics, why something actually happened. I'm actually going to bring that up later with the Tigers, but your kind of ambivalence about the Giants is definitely going to be reflected by myself when we start talking about the Cubs eventually, because they're kind of all over the place with their moves. So that's I understand your conundrum and maybe why grading is probably not the best idea for myriad reasons on the podcast, but fuck it.
Yeah. So more to come on this. I can't even grade them, right? Look, I'm like B+, C-, Sounds like a C. You're right. Maybe. I don't know. Is it an A? It said fucking A.
We're gonna do this for all of our teams, so maybe it'll just. I don't know if it's worth it.
I think it'll just turn into a funny little part at the end of each of these segments.
Hopefully it's funny.
Oh yeah, hopefully
it's amusing.
Hey guys, we're laughing. It must be funny.
Word Hole Media.